Hey guys, welcome to this video on the select statement in TSQL. The select statement is one of the most basic and but also crucial statements in SQL or TSQL, as it forms basically the building block of the language, and it is what you use to sort of see the data that you have or access the data that you have stored in database objects like tables and views, etc. So just setting some context, the SQL statement, the select statement, belongs to the data query language or DQL subset of statements, and these statements are used to perform queries on data within schema objects such as tables and the like. And these statements allow you to get data from the database and also to impose some order upon it. And the select table is the most important or crucial statement in this. All sometimes in some languages the only tool inside the data query language to get data returned to you from the table or other database objects. So let's look at the select statement in detail now. The select statement is used to select data from a database and return it to the user in a viewable format, right? So the data that is returned is stored in a result table, also known as a result set, and this result set is created by the whichever SQL tool you are using, and it's passed back to the front end in the form of a table, and that table is then displayed to you. So this is a temporary table made by the SQL or the dbms software that you are using just to sort of display the table. So let's dive into the demo. All right, so for the purposes of just getting the sample data that I need so that I can just show you guys, I want to take you guys to this website I found. It's called Mockaroo. I think like if you're just starting out learning SQL and just starting out querying data, it's a great tool, and you can use it in your practice as well, just to get some data into the tables, just so you can start querying. So right now there's sort of a boilerplate table format that it's created for me, which has got ID, first name, last name, email, gender, and IP address. I don't really want to make any changes other than just adding a country column, which will be helpful further down in one of the later videos. And if you stick around, maybe subscribe to the channel, then you will see why. So once I've got all the tables that I like, I set the number of rows. I just want maybe 20 rows because I'm not doing anything crazy. And format, this is important. So here you want to select SQL and then click preview. Oh wait, so I've made a mistake. I've not made a mistake. I forgot to include this create table command. So now when you click preview, you get the SQL query to create the table, and apart from that you also get the insert statements. So you just need to copy and paste this into this SQL tool you're using. So let's just copy this, and now I'm coming over to my SQL tool. So for the purposes of this video, I'm using Azure Data Studio, which is basically allowing me to use SQL Server and TSQL on the Mac. If you want to know how to install it, check out the video. I'll put it in the top right corner right now. I have a detailed video about the installation and setup process. It's not hard. You need to use Docker and stuff, but not difficult. So you can check out that video. And I also have another video for those who are on Windows, which just which teaches you how to install SQL Server Management Studio. And just to make it clear, there is absolutely no difference in the code or anything in any situation. So because both are running on the SQL Server engine, there is never going to be a code difference. So you guys don't have to be worried about that. It's just that the UI might look a little different. But the basic where you write your queries and you click run, the functionality should be the same and the results should be the same. So let's insert that data. So as you can see, I've just pasted that create table statement, and it says commands completed successfully. So now we can go back and just select all the insert statements. So copy, Command V to paste, and then just select just those tables that you want to run, and now you can run them. So then you can see we've got one row affected 20 times. That means 20 tables have been inserted into the table. So now we come to the select statement. So the syntax of the select statement, I'll put it up again on the screen. It is basically select column name or names from table name. Okay, so if you want to see, as you can see when we look at this data, we see that we have a first name column, right? Like this guy's name is Sheikh. So if you want to view all the first names in the table, what you do is you write select first name in the same case and style that it was given, that you had mentioned it in the insert statement and the create table statements, and then you do from the table name. As you can see, the table name which Mockaroo had suggested is mock underscore data, all caps, and in the insert statement as well it's the same. So that's the data, that's the table you need to select data from. So you do mock underscore data. So select that and you run. So here you get a list of all the first names in the table. So yeah, as you can see, 20 first names. So this, what we did here was we selected one column of data from the table in the database. So now suppose you want to select two columns. You can do select first name, comma, last name, or whichever other column you want to select. So you just have to separate the column names that you want to see, and you space them with a comma, and make sure to keep the case and the format, the name exactly the same. So now we have first name and last name, and we run, and here you can see we've got the first name and the last name. And again, you can do this as many times as you want, with as many columns as you want. So now we've got the email as well. So it common sense would say that if you want to get all the columns in the table, you can just list all the column names after the select statement, right? So the issue is that sometimes these tables get huge, not just with the number of rows but with the number of columns as well. So what you can do, and what the shortcut is you put an asterisk sign, and in SQL we call it the star sign. So it's select star from table name. So I'll put the syntax up, select star from table name. So what you want to do is just where you would normally put the column names, you just put the star or the asterisk symbol, and then write the rest of the statement as you would, and run. So here you get all the columns of the table that you had created, and this was a short look at the select statement in TSQL. Thanks for watching, and if you guys liked it and want to see future videos learning about TSQL, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like and share the video. Thank you.